10 best places to visit.
New York City, also referred to as New York, NYC by locals, is the most populous city in the United States. The city spans a land area of 305 square miles, 790 square kilometers. The New York metropolitan area, which spans lower New York, northern New Jersey, and southwestern Connecticut, has a population of 18.7 million, making it the largest metropolitan area in the U.S. as of 2014. It was one of the 15 largest metro areas in the world. It has one of the largest and most famous skylines on Earth. New York City consists of 5 boroughs: Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx and Staten Island. New York City is one of the global hubs of international finance, politics, communications, film, music, fashion, and culture. It's home to many world-class museums, art galleries, and theaters. English is the primary language spoken by most New Yorkers, although in many communities it is common to hear other languages that are generally widely understood. Famous landmarks includes Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, Wall Street, New York Stock Exchange, Empire State Building, United Nations, Central Park and Times Square. Marrakech is one of the imperial cities of Morocco. The name Marrakech means Land of God. It is the 3rd largest city in Morocco. It is a few hours from the foot of the Sahara Desert. Its location and contrasting landscape has made it an enviable destination in Morocco. Once in the Medina, everything can be seen on foot, though you'll be doing a lot of walking. For exploring more of the city, buses and petty taxis are plentiful. Getting around. There is a free travel guide and map application for Marrakech, called Marrakech Riyadh Travel Guide. It also includes important places and some restaurants to visit. An entire day can be dedicated to wandering around the souks, seeking out the best bargains. The city offers several historical and architectural sites as well as some interesting museums. Marrakech can make a good base for exploring the High Atlas or for organizing 1 to 4 day treks. Many trips can be done easily and inexpensively with public transport. Florence is the capital of the region of Tuscany in Italy. The city is considered a cultural, artistic and architectural gem. Florence was the birthplace of the Italian Renaissance. Politically, economically, and culturally it was the most important city in Europe for around 250 years. Opera was invented in Florence. The cathedral topped by Brunel's Cheese Dome is the 3rd largest Christian church and dominates the skyline. The Florentines decided to start building it in the 1200s. Then there are the art galleries. The Uffizi and the Pitti Palace are 2 of the most famous picture galleries in the world. In all, Florence has something over 80 museums. To get a great overview of the city, you have plenty of choices. Climb the dome of the cathedral or Giotto's bell tower, which is much easier, or climb a bit further to the church of San Miniato al Monte, a sublime 11th century masterpiece, with superb Renaissance sculptures. At Vespers, the monks add to the beauty with chants. There are also a few places to buy things, from the high-end jewelry stores lining the Ponte Vecchio to some of the most famous shops in the world: Gucci, Pucci, Ferragamo, Valentino, Prada, Armani. If you are to visit one place in Florence, it has to be the Piazza of Michelangelo. It offers an amazing view of the city. There is a lovely walking trail and even a large church, San Miniato, at the top of the mountain. It is a must-see. Prague is the capital city and largest city of the Czech Republic. It is one of the largest cities of Central Europe and has served as the capital of the historic region of Bohemia for centuries. Prague was founded in the later 9th century. The city is famous for its unique medieval architecture. The historical center of Prague is inscribed in the World Heritage List. This magical city of bridges, cathedrals, gold-tipped towers and church domes has been mirrored in the surface of the swamp-filled Vltava River for more than 10 centuries. Almost undamaged by World War II, Prague's medieval center remains a wonderful mixture of cobbled lanes, walled courtyards, cathedrals and countless church spires, all in the shadow of her majestic 9th century castle that looks eastward as the sun sets behind her. Prague is also a modern and vibrant city full of energy, music, cultural art, fine dining and special events catering to the independent traveler's thirst for adventure. It is regarded by many as one of Europe's most charming and a beautiful city. Prague has become the most popular travel destination in Central Europe along with Vienna and Krakow. Millions of tourists visit the city every year. In the winter, Prague has definitely its own magic. The snow may cover the surface, but it sooner or later melts. Spring season is one of the best times to come for a visit. Colorful and chilly, these two characteristics define the fall-autumn season. Czech is the official language of Prague and the Czech Republic. You will also have no problem speaking English at restaurants and bars. Rome is a huge city with several district articles containing sightseeing, restaurant, nightlife and accommodations. Rome, the Eternal City, is the capital and largest city of Italy and of the Lazio region. Rome, as a millennium-long center of power, culture and religion, has exerted a huge influence over the world in its roughly 2,800 years of existence. The historic center of the city is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. With wonderful palaces, millennium-old churches, grand romantic ruins, opulent monuments, ornate statues and graceful fountains, Rome has an immensely rich historical heritage and cosmopolitan atmosphere, making it one of Europe's and the world's most visited, famous, influential and beautiful capitals. Today, Rome has a growing nightlife scene and is also seen as a shopping heaven, being regarded as one of the fashion capitals of the world. With so many sights and things to do, Rome can truly be classified a global city. Situated on the river Tiber, between the Apennine Mountains and the Tyrrhenian Sea, the Eternal City was once the administrative center of the mighty Roman Empire, ruling over a vast territory that stretched all the way from Britain to Mesopotamia. Getting around Rome, we'd suggest you to get a map from your hotel or go inside a hotel to ask for directions to a place. Every accommodation seems to have a stack of these sponsored by a variety of businesses. Roman roads can indeed be confusing and directions can be hard to follow without a map to reference. In Rome, all public transport comprising buses, trams, trolley buses, the metro network and light railways would help. If you are in Rome for the art, there are several world-class museums in the city. Much of the attraction of Rome isn't just wandering around the old city. Istanbul is a huge city with several district articles containing sightseeing, restaurant, nightlife and accommodation. Istanbul is Turkey's most populous city as well as its cultural and financial hub, expanding the ancient Roman colony of Byzantium by the order of the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great. Istanbul has a temperate oceanic climate which is influenced by a continental climate, with hot and humid summers and cold, wet and occasionally snowy winters. Snowfall, which occurs almost annually, is common between the months of December and March. For visitors, an umbrella is recommended during spring, autumn and winter, and during the summer to avoid the sun and occasionally the rain. Istanbul's public transit system can be difficult to figure out. Maps are rare and you often have to transfer and pay another fare to get where you are going. With its long history at the center of empires, Istanbul offers a wealth of historic and religious places to take in. The bulk of these ancient monuments, dating back to Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman periods, including the Hagia Sophia, Topkapi Palace, Sultanahmet Mosque, Blue Mosque, and Basilica Sistine, are located around Sultanahmet Square, while some others are dispersed throughout the peninsula of Old City, such as Church of Saint Xavier and Kahura, entire inside of which is covered by mind-blowing frescoes and mosaics. An impressive section of mostly intact Theodosian walls, which mark the full length of western boundary of the peninsula, is right next to this particular church. A 4th-century-old dot and madrasa which is now used as a tourist information center between Bazet and Sembreltis tram stations. Bora Bora is a volcanic island in the Society Islands archipelago of French Polynesia. It is perfectly possible to spoil oneself in one of the incredibly luxurious high-class resorts and spend the savings of a lifetime in a few days. Nonetheless, a bit of planning ahead can allow enjoyment of the majestic scenery. Keep in mind that in any case Bora Bora is a tremendously pricey destination. The climate in Bora Bora and the surrounding islands are considered to be tropical. Like with most places, the seasons can be divided into two seasons, the wet season and the dry season. The best time weather-wise with the least risk of storms is in their winter months. The main languages that are spoken by people in Bora Bora Island are French and Tahitian, although most inhabitants that interact with visitors have good comprehension of the English language. The people have traditional songs and dances for the island. English is also spoken in many hotels, resorts, markets, and tourist locations. Vitape is the arrival point of the ferry from the airport, and is the only town of any size of the island. The vast majority of the activities take place outdoor, and there are no cinemas, libraries or museums to visit. Swimming in the lagoon in perfectly clear warm water has the advantage of being free and can be very enjoyable. Scuba diving is fun. London is an enormous city. Noisy, vibrant and truly multicultural, London is a megalopolis of people, ideas and frenetic energy. The capital and largest city of both England and of the United Kingdom. It is also the largest city in Western Europe and the European Union, situated on the River Thames, in southeast England. Considered one of the world's leading global cities, London remains an international capital of culture, music, education, fashion, politics, finance and trade. London is a highly diverse mix of race and cultures. Despite varied weather patterns, the city has an unfair reputation for being drizzly, grey and rainy. Snow does occur, usually for a few days at the beginning of the year. London has one of the most comprehensive public transport systems in the world. Despite residents' constant, and sometimes justified, grumbling about unreliability, public transport is often the best option for getting anywhere for visitors and residents alike. Places to visit: Buckingham Palace is the official London residence of the Queen in Westminster. The London Eye, the world's third largest observation wheel, Marble Arch, Piccadilly Circus, St. Paul's Cathedral, Tower Bridge, Tower of London. There are hundreds of London hotels and there is no one particular area that is more desirable or advisable area to stay in. The Great Barrier Reef is a coral formation, the largest in the world, located off the Pacific coast of Queensland, Australia. It is home to a spectacular array of marine life and offers awesome diving opportunities. Day trips to the reef run from most of the length of the Queensland coast. There are many islands scattered off the Queensland coast in several different island groups. Check the specific destination guides to see if the island you are thinking of visiting is a snorkeler's paradise, or just a nice place to pull up a deck chair and relax. Great Barrier Reef Marine Park. There are many places to depart from to get to the reef. Cairns is considered the gateway to the reef, but boats also leave from Airlie Beach, Cooktown, Port Douglas, Mission Beach, Townsville and Yeppoon. Seafood at the Great Barrier Reef Islands and nearby coastal areas is delicious. Reef day trips sell alcohol on board. Scuba dive. Most travelers learn to dive in Townsville, Cairns or Port Douglas. All have a very competitive dive industry. There are marine threats on the reef, from stonefish to sharks, sea snakes to jellyfish. Many trips to the reef are made all year round, and injuries due to any of these causes on the reef are rare. Paris, the cosmopolitan capital of France, is one of the largest agglomerations in Europe, almost 12 million people living in the whole metropolitan area. Located in the north of France on the River Seine, Paris has the well-deserved reputation of being the most beautiful and romantic of all cities, brimming with historic associations and remaining vastly influential in the realms of culture, art, fashion, food and design. Dubbed the City of Light, La Belle Lumiere, and capital of fashion, It is home to the world's finest and most luxurious fashion designers and cosmetics. Climate. Being located in Western Europe, Paris has a maritime climate with cool winters and warm summers. Snow is not common in Paris. With the weather being so pleasant in the summer, it's a great time to visit. The best and cheapest way to get around Paris is on foot, and secondly, using the metro. First and foremost, French is of course the country's official language. Any native French person will speak French, and it helps if you can speak a bit of it. Paris is generally considered to be one of the safer cities in Europe and a very safe one to visit, and most travelers will not run into any problems. Thank you for watching. Please like and share.